Hi, everybody. It's Taylor. We're about to get started. Can you guys do me a huge favor and just say hello? Find your chat box and say hello if you can hear me. Will you guys let me know if I'm echoing? Hi, Marie. Hey, Sandra. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Dina. I can hear you okay. Valerie says no echo. Yes. Awesome. Okay, who's excited? I'm so excited for this training today and that you guys are here. So thank you so much for carving out some time for me and this training. Hey, Beck. Awesome. Okay, let's just dive in, guys. So welcome. Today, we are talking about writing content that sells high-end packages, okay? So this isn't just for coaches. It's kind of a typo in a way. This is for selling high-end coaching, high-end services. So if you are a passionate, service-based, you have a story to share, but you're a web designer, copywriter, somebody that does these online services will be awesome for you too. But let me tell you who it's really for, okay? If this is not for you, I do not want to waste your time, okay? This is not for everyone. This is definitely not for everyone. But you are in the right place if you know that you're good at what you do and the work that you do is important to get into the world, okay? Everybody put ones in if this sounds like you. Who knows that they're good at what they do and that the work that they do is very important, okay? And be cocky, don't worry about it. You're passionate about your message that you desire to share, and you're passionate about sharing your story with as many people as possible, okay? Some of you might be afraid to do that, but if you feel like, I'm not interested in building a personal brand, I'm not interested in sharing my story, don't have a story to share, this is definitely not for you. One of the big requirements of this training is that you've got a story to share, okay? And here's important too. This is for you if you're already doing the work. So are you already writing content, ladies? But you're just not selling as much as you'd like to. You're not selling at the rate you'd like to. It's not working as well as you'd like it to, right? But you're doing the work, okay? That's very, very important. I'm looking to talk to women today that are doing the work. They're not afraid to dive in and write some content. And finally, you're a coach or a service provider who desires to sell high-end packages, 5K, 10K, even higher. I've had clients do 15K, 20K rates. That's what I sell at as well. So this is perfect for you if you want to raise your rates or if you're already trying to sell this, this rate, okay? Cool. So what I want to know from you guys is, I love asking this question because it's fun for me. So I'm Taylor Manning, okay? I'm going to introduce myself to you just so you know why you should listen to me. But I always like to know, we'll do it a little differently this time. Put a 2 in if you already know me. You've been following me. Maybe you're in my group, on my list, on my social media. You just feel like you know me pretty well. And put a 3 in if that's not quite the case. If you found me maybe on a Facebook ad, maybe you're not even sure. You've never been on a training with me before. You don't know much about me. Put in a 3. It's always somewhat of an equal mix. Cool. So here's my story for those of you that don't know. Some of you that may know me actually maybe don't know this. So I want to rewind VCR tape. Anyone remember that? Rewind to November 2015, okay? I was 20 years old, so you can do the math and figure out my age now if you're interested. But I was 20 years old, right? I was living in a neighborhood that did not feel like home, AKA terrible neighborhood, terrible place. Something that I should actually write in here that I don't have that I was thinking about the other day is we literally, like, in our kitchen, we didn't have flooring for like a year, and we would just put down, and we rented this place too, so it's like we were renting a place that didn't have floors. We would literally just like put down cardboard. And I'm not trying to tell you some rags to riches story. This is just the fact of what was going on, right? My parents weren't talking to me at this time, right? Because I moved in with this man over here who's a bit older than me, and they were like, no, not our daughter, you can't. They weren't into it. So I was not only was I in a neighborhood I didn't love, I moved across the country without telling anybody. Okay, day after I graduated college, moved across the country, moved in with him. My parents were pissed. Hated where I was living, but I had to get away, right? And I was actually telling somebody this morning. That was one of the most pivotal points of my life, because that was the first time I ever like said, I'm choosing the way I live my life. You guys probably got this, right? That's so important. That's a huge piece of being an entrepreneur. And if you guys haven't done this yet, you need to do it. You've got to put your foot down to everybody who has a different plan for you. Okay. So here's what was really cool, right? I was freelancing on this site called Upwork. So I was doing social media, web design, copywriting, everything, VA work, Facebook ads, making people's webinar slides for them, everything. Okay. For like $15 an hour. Okay. But then what was really cool is I discovered the world of coaching, and I was really, really intrigued. Okay. Actually, what happened that really made me realize I need to be a coach was one of my clients was paying me $15 an hour. Okay. And she asked to get on a quick call, and I did not want to say yes. I wanted to be like, no. Like, I'm busy. Like, it was like 6 o'clock at night. Right. And I said yes anyway. She said it would be quick. I had no boundaries, so it's all my fault. It's not like it's her fault. And we talked for 2 hours, and she did not believe, like, my clients in this VA world, they didn't really believe in being billed for a phone call. They only believed for being billed in work that you were doing for them. So I just had this moment where I was like, I'm following these coaches. They're freaking amazing. They're charging, I mean, let's just be honest, okay? They're charging these rates that are making me like, my eyeballs pop out, like, what? And here I am doing a 2-hour call with this woman, totally strategizing, doing what a coach does, being paid $15 an hour, but actually not even being paid for that time. And so that's the moment. I remember the exact day. And that was the moment where I was like, I need to be a coach, you know? But here's the thing. You guys see this slide. I had a list a mile long of reasons that I wasn't ready to be a coach. Okay. Again, I was 20 years old. So who's ever going to hire a coach that's 20 years old? Who does that? That would be so stupid. That's what was going through my head. I feel like I didn't sound super intelligent, right? Like, I stumble over my words. I'm not good on video. I'm super introverted and shy, like, right? I also didn't, tell me if you guys resonate with this. Okay. Maybe put a 4 in if this resonates with you. Don't be shy, because it's okay. But I didn't have the results that other coaches had, right? I didn't have these big money results. I didn't have these big client testimonials. I didn't have, you can see this last bullet point. I also wasn't like living a life, put a 4 in if this sounds like you too, was not living an extravagant life either. It's not like I could be like, look at me and you know, Bali or wherever, right? This beautiful island, or in Paris, or traveling the world, flying first class. No, right? But I did it. This is actually one of the first images I ever used. Ready to transform your business? This is a picture of me back then. So here's what I did, guys, just in case you want to know. I marketed what I knew I could teach. Okay. It's so normal to think that you're not good enough. All right. My first 2 taglines that I would use were turn your offline expertise into an online business, because that's what I was doing with my VA clients. And let me help you stop wanting to throw your computer out of the window, because that's another thing I was helping them do. I realized I couldn't promise these results I didn't have. I realized I couldn't fake it until I made it. I realized, I tell my clients this sometimes too, we have to get really real. I tell them the truth's the truth. Where you're at is where you're at. Your story is your story. So you either market that or you lie. And I don't teach my clients to lie, but I do give them that option. And they're always like, okay, let's make my story work, right? That's what I did. I hired my own mentor, just saying, ladies, who believed in me and showed me the steps to take, right? And I will say this, for me, it was more important to have someone that believed in me more than even just have the steps to take, because I already knew them. I was doing them with clients already. Most of you have been on webinars before, have done courses before and stuff like that. But what I really needed was somebody that knew me inside and out, that saw my vulnerabilities, and that was like, yeah, I'd hire you. I remember my first coach telling me that. She's like, I'd hire you. Like, get this out there. This is so good. And I was like, wait, you would? Okay. Who knows if she was being honest or serious, but I remember that was huge for me. It really, really pushed me. I think a lot of us have never had somebody believe in us more than we believe in ourselves, right? So I kept going no matter what, right? A lot of you may be on this journey, or maybe have gotten through this, or maybe you're plateaued at a different level, but it took me 3 months to sign my first client, and then I would only sign 3 in the next 4 months. So if you do the math, that's 7 months. I only signed 3 clients, and that was really hard, but I laser focused. This is what I'm doing, okay? So by doing those couple of things, ladies, this is what happened. This is a snapshot of today's results, all right? My first year, so January to December 2016, I made over $170,000 cash, okay? 21 years old. I mean, that's pretty badass, am I right? Although it doesn't matter your age, but I've just proved to myself I could do it, okay? And then 12 months after signing that first client, that felt so hard. How many of you are there or like recently there? 12 months after that first client, even though the next couple of months I would only sign 2 more, I had a $59,000 cash month, okay? And then in my second year of coaching, over 400,000. And I'm not telling you these numbers to like tell you the numbers, whatever. I just want to show you what's really possible. I just want to show you if you're in those months where you're making 3 figures, you're making low 4 figures, you're stuck at 5K, you're stuck at 10K, you're stuck at 0, you're stuck at $500. For me, when I was in my freelance business, I couldn't make it over $2,000 a month, right? And this was huge. I did not think that this was possible at all. I really didn't. I did not expect to make 6 figures my first year. I did not expect to make a $59,000 cash month 1 year into my business, but you can. And it's actually not that unrealistic, right? So just some pictures for those of you that haven't seen these pictures. This is me and my fiance. This is me at my live event in January that I did. I also just did another one this past week, which was awesome. And then this is me and my little sister. So life looks a lot different now, right? Like I'm able to take time off and still make money. This month, this is actually my second day home. I traveled for a whole week before yesterday, and then I'm traveling for like a week and a half after this. So traveling for 2.5 weeks this month. But this is a result from December. I took 7 whole days off, right? Like not doing anything, and made over $15,000 cash because of what I'm teaching you today. Because my content works for me, and the content I'm teaching you to write in today's webinar, big promise but true, is so good that you do have to manually write it today. But then when you go on vacation next week or whatever, you just schedule it to go out, or you pay your assistant to do it because you have the money to. And look, I didn't just manifest this, like stuff was going out. It looked like I was working, but it was all old content. Marketing Saga, typo. Marketing Saga, but that means for me, I just kind of made that up. Marketing Saga means the couple of posts that you can reuse over and over and over to sell out your programs, okay? I sell 3 main things in my business. That's it, right? I'm always just focused on one. It's super simple. I used to launch 3 things a month. Who's there? And make 50K months. Always make multiple 5-figure months. I've been making multiple 5-figure months for almost 2 years now, which is crazy. It's been almost 2 years since I've made less than $20,000 in a month, which is so freaking cool. Work a few hours a day, do things that I love. And what's most important here is being able to be a role model to my siblings. And I just wanted to bring this up because it's so important moving into this training that you have a clear vision of what your why is, because I'm not telling you this to be like, I know it's going to sound like it because I'm just like rushing through it because I want to dive into the good stuff. I'm not telling you this to be like, look at me, look what's possible. I just jumped in my business and it went amazing. I want to tell you, $15,000 cash was not easy to get to. That took a long time. That took a lot of focus. That took a lot of energy. I used to think that doing that would be so hard, right? I did that in technically a long weekend, okay? That 7 days was really just a long weekend for the majority of it. And selling only 3 offers ever, period, in my business, I used to do that every month, you know? And working a few hours a day, no. I used to work like 12 hours a day in my business. So I went through my period of hustle, and what I realized is it comes down to two things. It comes down to believing in yourself and just being committed, right? Remember what I said on this slide up here? I just decided I was going to do it until it worked, and having content that works for me. I know it sounds so simple, but your content's got to work. There's a big difference between a post that doesn't work and you've got to post 20 times to make one sale or more, right? Versus when you know how to write a really good post and you write one or two or maybe three and you get a sale, right? But the reason why this kind of life is so important to me, and the reason why having a business that runs this way is so important to me, is because I want to show my siblings you can have whatever you want, right? I'm the oldest of 5. Is anybody else the oldest of 5 kids? Or are you the oldest? Doesn't really matter. But if you are the oldest, you can probably totally resonate. Or if you're just a loving sibling, you can probably totally resonate. But so important. So I just challenge you, shouldn't be a challenge, but I just ask you really to take a second and think, who am I doing this for? It should be for yourself. But it's not about proving yourself to anybody. It's not about saving anybody. We can't save anyone. We can't prove anything to anyone. You have nothing to prove. But for me, when I get into a point that's hard, or that's or that I feel tired, or I feel like I can't do it, or I'm at a ceiling, right? I literally will ask myself, what would I tell my sister, right? What would I tell my sibling? And I'm like, I would tell them to fucking do it. Like, do it. Don't give up. Do everything you can. Do what you want, right? Make the most of your life, please. And they have to choose to do that. Everyone in our lives has to choose to do that themselves. But I give myself that loving sister kick in the butt all the time. So hope that motivates you to kind of like think about, what is that for you, right? Alyssa, are you saying you're the oldest of 5? Sandra, middle child of 5. Trisha, youngest of 6, oldest of 4. Wow, you guys are like me. You have lots of siblings. I love it. Okay, quick note. Okay, we're about to dive into it. I'm so excited. Who's excited? So this is a workshop. I'm so freaking pumped for this. It's so good. I've done this one other time. Leah, you can't sit with us. Just kidding. This is a workshop, okay? Which means, and I love it, it's not like a webinar where you just sit here and take notes. Like, I want you to participate. It's going to be so good. I want you to participate. I want you to work along with me. And if you do, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to want a pen and paper for notes, and you're going to want a Word document for content. Okay? So if you do this, here's what you're going to have. Okay? My promise to you before the end of this webinar is have a genius list of topic ideas. Okay? That's what you're going to have. Meaning you're going to have a list of topics and kind of like headlines, or things you can turn really easily into headlines, because I'll teach you how, that are things that haven't been said before, things that aren't already way oversaturated in the marketplace. Number 2, you're going to have a completed or almost completed, just based on how in your head you get and how slow you write. Love you. Post that you can use to promote your services. Okay, that's going to be epic. And what's most important is you're going to have a clear understanding of how to write a post that actually sells. So let's get started. Cool? So here's step 1. I love how it like sounds kind of boring. Step 1, choose your topic. I'll give you guys a minute. Just kidding. So first thing we got to do is choose our topic, right? So the best topics are ones that haven't been said before. Now, I know that sounds crazy, like, can I do that? And it's not a rule. It doesn't mean everything you write should be never said before, right? But here's the thing. There's no point in writing a post that nobody's going to read. And if you write a post that has been written about 50 other times that day, like, come on, ladies. I know you guys are in Facebook groups. I know some of you found me in a Facebook group. So, okay, you know these groups are awesome, and there's so many amazing women in them, but you know there's a lot of content. If you scroll through and you write the topics of the posts, let's say you went through the last 100 posts and you wrote the topics, there's not going to be that many topics that were written about. A lot of them are going to overlap. And that means people are, if they see that you wrote the same topic they just read about for the past 5 days 10,000 times, they're going to skip right over yours, right? So here's my example. I used to see this a lot when I was a new coach, so maybe it's outdated, but can you guys tell me? Do you guys see this a lot? Posts about downloading too many freebies, right? If any of you were scrollers. So I used to see those all the time. So this is the example I get. If you saw a post that said at the headline, stop downloading freebies, like, would you actually read it, right? Because personally, I think it's overdone. Yeah, we got a no. We got 2 no's. It's boring. Those of you saying no, or those of you that wouldn't read it, doesn't mean you're not opening too many freebies. I think we've all been guilty of that, right? But it's not interesting. It's not intriguing. It's overdone. Come on, right? I'm going to teach you how to not do that. And there's a lot of other topics that you probably feel called to share. It's important to share. People need the information. People need to know that they need to stop downloading freebies. People need to know what they need to do instead, but that's not getting attention, right? So here's the 2 things that make your post stand out, right? The headline and the topic. So if you want to attract the right readers, they're probably going to be the same thing. So quick rant, and don't worry guys, this is just like the intro. I'll tell you what to do, so don't worry. But I do want to say this. A lot of people think, okay, headline, like I'll tell them, it's got to be intriguing. It's got to make people wonder what you're going to say. It's got to get their attention. So they'll write the lyrics of a Britney Spears song, okay? No, that's just confusing. Nobody knows what you're going to write about, okay? If your subject line is hit me baby one more time, your whole audience is going to be so confused, okay? And only your like fans or whatever are actually going to read it. We want a headline that's very clear, right? What is the topic of this post and is it for me? Even those of us that waste hours a day scrolling have limited time because we have other posts to read. Like, let's just be honest, right? So we're going to start making a couple of lists, okay? Now, I'm only going to wait about a minute for each of these, so just write what comes to mind, but definitely go back to these because there's probably going to be more. So write the first stuff that comes to mind, okay? I want you to just visualize, go through, however your brain works, your ideal client's day, okay? So think about alarm clock goes off or does it, right? It's not about what they're doing. It's what are they thinking? What are the secret thoughts throughout their day they're not telling anybody? What are they thinking as they wake up? What are they thinking as they get ready? What are they thinking as they make breakfast or don't? Or like, what are they thinking in the morning, the afternoon? Like, do you guys get what I mean? So they're waking up and they're thinking, I've got to get to work. I've got to write posts, right? Or they're getting ready for the day and they're like, oh, I'm so fat. My pants don't ever fit, man, right? What are they thinking? And be specific. Now, you guys have limited time. I'm going to keep talking as you write, so be writing. But you do want to try to make it the exact words as close as you can, okay? But you can always go back and kind of tweak it, so it doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're just brainstorming. And just write down everything, guys, because I have a second part of this that will help you get rid of the bad ones or the boring ones. So, number 2, what have they tried recently, especially in regards to what you help with, that didn't go how they wanted it to? So if you're like me and you teach business, marketing, whatever, maybe it's they tried a webinar, or they tried a funnel, or they tried a Facebook group, or they tried free calls, or, right? If you're a health coach, maybe they tried this diet or that diet or this workout or this mindset or whatever, right? So what have they tried recently that didn't go how they wanted it to? And for your content's sake, you also want to know how it went. But again, you can always kind of go back and add that. This is just a brainstorm. Okay. What do they think they need to do What do they think is their next step that's actually going to waste their time? I love this one. So this could be like, they think, I was just talking to a client today. I don't know, should I share this with you? Because it's kind of genius. Basically, I'll tell you it in a kind of different way, but I was telling my client, you know, people with weight loss, right? They think the issue with them not losing weight is just they weren't as committed last time, or they gave in too easy or whatever, right? So they think they just need to do the same thing they've been doing and try again, just be more committed this time. Doesn't work, right? That's not true. Most of us probably know that here, but a lot of people think that. So that for her could be an idea of what to write about. Okay. The post I'm going to be showing you today isn't necessarily this list, but it's about free sessions, doing free sessions, and how that doesn't work. So good. So what do they think they need to do? What do they think is their next step that's going to waste their time? Okay. Okay. So now I want you to go back through these lists. Okay. Again, after this workshop, you can keep those questions. You'll get a replay email. You'll be able to go back through, listen to it, screenshot things if you want, go for it. But what I want you to do now with the list that you have, even if it's short, I just want you to go through it and cross out any of them that you've seen people write about before. Now, most of you probably see your competition, right? You're following them. So it's going to be easy for you. Now, if you don't, you're like, I don't know. I don't really see, like, let's say you're a relationship coach. I don't really see other relationship coaches talking about this. That's fine. Just ask yourself, do you think that this is kind of an overdone topic, you know? Or do you think it's something where they'll be surprised? Like, how does she know that? Which we'll touch on again. So just cross out any of them that you know are overdone. You've seen posts on them before. You know what I mean, guys? Just catching up on my water bowl as I get to wait for you. Okay. Cool. So now you're left with really genius content ideas, okay? Ladies, this is something you can do over and over and over. This is something that, I'm gonna answer that in a second. This is something that you could carve out a whole hour or longer of your day, later today, tomorrow, this weekend, whatever, and actually do this again and create months of content, okay? So when you can find topics that aren't being talked about, it's really good. Now, what we have here is with fitness and weight loss, most of them have been spoken about before, for sure. Same thing with business. Same thing with business. Same thing with everything. But I will tell you this, there are things that people are thinking that people just aren't actually writing about. So I would go deeper into that, their thoughts, and see if you can find anything. Bonus tip, shouldn't do this, but I will. Think about too, like stories of their parents, things they were told as a kid, the reason why they are where they are right now, right? So whether that is, you know, people that struggle with weight or health or whatever, often they have a lot of limiting beliefs and stories from their parents. Same thing with business, same thing with relationships. So that's another thing you can dive into that a lot of coaches that are not in really they don't know about this really, they don't think about that kind of stuff, aren't writing about. That's another thing that you can think about. So here's what I need you guys to do is choose one of these topics that you're most excited about. So I hope all of you have one. If not, don't stress it. You're probably putting a little too much pressure on yourself. But choose the one you're most excited about. Who has a good topic that they came up with? You can share it here if you want. I would love to see it, but you don't have to. But I want you to choose one, and we're going to get to writing. which is gonna be fun. Okay, so we're gonna turn it into a headline. So here's mine. I'm actually gonna break down a post with you. Okay, Fiona, the shame of filing for bankruptcy. Yes, that's really good. I like that. So you want to turn it into a headline. Mine is exactly why you've taken on 30 free sessions just to maybe sign 1 or 2 clients, but probably not. So do you guys see how this is specific though? It's not like why free sessions don't work or why your free sessions aren't converting. I'm talking, because I'm talking to a specific person. I'm talking to somebody, and you'll see the rest of this post, but just to get you guys thinking, I'm talking to somebody who didn't try to book free sessions. They booked 30, right? There's a difference. There are people out there who try to book free sessions and can't get anyone on the phone to save their life. And there are people who can get people in for free stuff like crazy and aren't signing any clients from it, so they're not converting. This is a good fit for my one-on-one and my higher end programs, right? I'm looking for people that stand out, have a story, their content's working, they have these shiny objects that are getting people to sign up for free stuff, but they're not selling at the level they want to. I know how to change that. So do you guys see the difference? I could change this and say, you know, why you're struggling to even get people to sign up for your free stuff or your free sessions. That would be a totally different post, a totally different ideal client. So be specific. Don't be afraid to add in numbers, specifics, weird details. Yeah, Jennifer, just focus on writing your post. That's going to be the most valuable for you right now. Yeah, very normal. So step 2. Does that make sense, guys? Who needs help with their headline? Did you guys write something? And you can share it in the comments if you want feedback. PS. Okay. I think it's cool to be like, why this happened, how to do this, ever thought this, right? Why you're thinking this. Things like that. You can also turn the headline into part of your story. So Fiona, if you've ever filed bankruptcy, I don't know, but if that's part of your story, you could say something like that, where you could say, honestly, bankruptcy is such like a taboo topic, which is why it's great for a post. You could even just say, the time I filed bankruptcy, ... right? Or whatever. It could be very simple. You don't have to overthink it. Why your relationship's doomed to end up like your parents? Too boring. I like it. I actually like it. I think that's something that people are thinking. But you could even say like, now don't use this if it doesn't sound like you, but I like to have a little bit of fun. It could be like, oh man, it could be something like, face it, you know you're worried about your relationship ending up like your parents, right? Or like, do you feel like your relationship is starting to be a lot like do you know what I mean? You can play with it a little bit, but I think it's good. Okay, Maggie, thank you for sharing this. Maggie says, let your body tell you what it wants to eat. That is not what they're thinking. They're not thinking, should I let my body tell me what it wants to eat? You're actually taking the answer and putting it at the top of the post. When you put the answer at the top of the post, I think all of you are going to learn from this. When you put the answer at the top of the post, what happens is people read it and they're like, yeah, not doing that. You know what I mean? Or heard that before. So you want to say what they're thinking, and you want to make them feel like, how did you know I was thinking that? You know what I mean? So are they thinking like, you know, why does it feel so hard to pick the right foods? Why does it feel like I just keep choosing to eat foods that make me gain weight or make me feel XYZ? You know what I mean? Melanie says she's struggling to come up with a topic. I feel like everything I wrote down is overdone. I think you just got to go deeper into keep writing. Force yourself, okay, what else are they thinking? What else are they thinking? What else are they thinking? Because trust me, most marketers, all of you here are a marketer, are not talking about taboo things. They're avoiding that. You know, they're avoiding talking about certain things or using certain words or whatever. So that's interesting to think about, which it doesn't always have to be taboo. It could actually be really, really simple. Like this free sessions thing. I don't know why nobody's writing about it. It's just something I know is happening to people. Here's the other thing. Most of your topics are probably broad, so go more specific. If I just wrote why free sessions don't work, I haven't really seen anybody write about that, so it's fine. But when people read that, they're going to be like, yeah, cool. Okay, mental note, don't do free sessions. I gave the answer away. But when I say why you did 30 free sessions, so write down exactly what they're doing. People that talk about diets, write down the exact diet they did, okay? I know you're going to be afraid of leaving people out. You're not going to. It will get more attention than just saying why your diet didn't work, right? Yeah, Maggie, cool. Why does everything I eat make me feel like shit? Yeah, you can even go a step further and be like, have you ever thought, why do I keep choosing to eat things that make me feel like shit? Because I've totally felt like that before. Like, yeah, what are their thoughts, right? Trisha, why doesn't Zoom have emojis? It's not a headline. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Okay. Why you have tried all diets and supplements but still feel like you have no idea how to get healthy and fit. Yeah, so the way I would make that a little bit more specific is I would say why you have tried 12 different diets this year, right? And ordered from 4 different supplement companies, but you still can't get healthy and fit is fine, but you could even be more specific. You still can't even lose the weight, get the abs, find any energy, stick to your workout plan. But like, they don't really want to stick to their workout plan. They want what? To be toned, to lose the weight. That's not everybody, but think about that. Danielle, super cool, but you don't want to say the answer. Like that's not their thought. Get what I mean? They're not thinking business plans are so old school. What are their thoughts? What is the thing going through their head? Or what is the actual thing they did? Oh my God. AE, don't know why you didn't put in your real name because I don't know what your name is now. That's awesome. I might need to go to the doctor, but it's Saturday and my chewing, is that actually what you meant to say? My chewing clients are calling. Totally get that. Is the coaching industry totally overrated? Yes. Taboo. Awesome. Why you've been vegan for 6 months but still can't fit in your skinny jeans? Jennifer, I'm dying. That's so good. Why losing everything was the biggest lesson ever? Good-ish, but define losing everything. Okay. Am I good enough to be a coach? Yes. I love it. Okay, awesome, guys. You're getting a point. I love that you guys shared because I think even if I didn't get to help you specifically, you can learn from what I'm saying to everyone else too. So thank you to those that shared. Okay. Step 2, you want to tell their story. Now, I know this might sound confusing, so stick with me because I'm going to show you the example at the end, but I'm just going to explain for now. You want to show them you know what they're going through, okay? I've been saying this a couple of times, right? Ayla, oh, I love that. Okay, this is what you want them to see this part of your post and be like, how does she know I just went through that? Or I was just thinking that, right? Or you even want her to think, whoa, I'm not the only one, right? So that's why I love Jennifer's headline, why you've been vegan for 6 months but can't fit in your skinny jeans. I actually know personally people going through that. So it's almost funny because they think they're the only ones. So when you, the coach, says that specifically, they're like, what? I'm not the only one, which gives them hope. Guys, one of the number one, there's 2 big reasons people don't buy, and one of them is they don't believe the results possible for them. So for Jennifer, if somebody is reading her content and loves her, but they've already been vegan for 6 months, right, and it's not working or whatever, they're going to think, I'm not going to sign up with Jennifer because I'm already doing everything. It doesn't work for me. But when she says that, they're like, oh, it can work for me. You know what I mean? So This is just some ways I word this. I'm going to show you the example in the next slide. I know it's going to be confusing. I like to say things like, let me guess, da 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 da. You are blah, blah, blah. You feel blah, blah, blah. You want, right? But you don't know how to, right? So here's my example. Don't write it exactly how I did, even though I know it's cute. Just write from your heart, right? It's not about the, I'm going to tell you guys this at the end. It's not about the format. It's just about these elements, okay? But you guys can see what I did, right? I'm like, post goes viral, acuity confirmations in your inbox like crazy, feels like your big break. You're doing the calls, you realize what an amazing coach you are, but you still haven't gotten clients from it yet. And those that said yes to you ghosted. Maybe it's still worth it. Maybe they'll come back around, right? I'm literally breaking down the story of what's going on for them. I'm telling their story. Melanie, maybe we need to talk about this, Melanie. But that's the point, right? Nobody writes like this. Very few people do. You know what I mean? Most people are like, why free calls don't work and what you should do instead. It's like, I don't care if you just literally went through free calls, you're probably not going to read that. You're just going to be like, okay, cool, mental note, don't do free calls again. Right? But when I write this, you're like, how does Taylor know my life? Like, you look around your office like, is there a camera in here? You know? So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to kind of write this out, start jotting it down. Again, if you don't finish it, I would plan to stick around for a couple minutes after this and finish your post up so you can post it today. But this is my example for you. Cool. If you are done, can you tell me? The biggest piece right now, guys, is don't get in your head. Don't do it. Just write. But can you guys see, like, sometimes I'll say, you know, let me guess. You had huge success booking all your free calls. You had like 30 of them on your calendar for the next month, right? You were so excited. So this time I used bullet points and emojis and made it cute, but sometimes I just write it out like a story, you know? Yeah, there's going to be a replay that you'll have access to until Saturday. So yeah, just check your email. I can't tell you how many people, when I did this last time, emailed and stalked me on the internet and asked for it. I'm like, it's in your inbox. But I know it happens. Sometimes you literally don't get it, so that's okay. Okay, we're gonna move on for timing. Step 3 is to tell your story, okay? So you wanna show them you've been where they're at. Now, some of you, most of you, I find, most people that work with me, most people that show up to my trainings and stuff, they coach on things they've gone through, right? They talk about things they've gone through. Now, some of you maybe you went to school for what you do. Maybe you're certified in what you do. Maybe it's something like that, right? Because you could be a nutrition genius and not really struggled with your nutrition too much. Most of us have a story. But if that's the case for you and you're like, no, I've always been good at this, like whatever, think about clients. You want to be able to tell a story that shows someone's been through what they've been through. But if it's you, it's the best, okay? So this is why you want them to see that you really get where they're at, right? I see posts all the time that say something like, you know, you're struggling to book clients, you want to make more money, you're hustling nonstop. I get it. I've so been there. Book a call with me to learn how to make all the money in the world. And like, but all they say is, I get it. I've been there, but they're not actually telling the truth. And then they have a picture of them in front of their mansion, right? And we can't help but think, sure, you've been there. You know, it's just kind of natural instinct. Protect yourself, right? And all of us here I'm sure, have this amazing story to share, right? That's why I told you in the beginning, don't stick around if you don't, right? And you want to also be able to show them you're on the other side, right? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have the 100% success story. We're always still going to be on our journey, but you want to just be able to show them I was exactly where you are. And now here, this is where I'm at and where you want to be, right? It shows them it's possible. Remember, one of the biggest reasons people don't buy is they don't believe it's possible. And it shows them that you are the one who gets them and that can help them. Okay? So this shouldn't be hard. Think back. When did you go through this? When did one of your clients go through this? And just write about it. So I will normally say something like, I get it. I've been there. I was you. I went through the same thing. And then I'll just tell my story. So this is just so you guys, if you guys can't tell on the screen, this is a screenshot of my of that part of my post. Okay. So I just dove right in. I literally, right after these bullets, I said, I remember it like it was yesterday. I booked something like 17 free sessions in 1 week. I was sure this was it. First 5-figure month. Here I am. Calls went great, blah, 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 blah. Right? Now, pay attention though to here, right? I said, I was specific. Some of them said yes. Half of them ghosted me. Some people paid me a really small deposit and then didn't finish ever paying. But here's what's important is I said, I felt a lot of shame and I felt like I obviously sucked at sales or nobody saw me as an authority because someone even pitched me on my own free call and other people asked me to collaborate. So do you guys kind of feel how like I shared how I felt as well? Emotion is honestly what sells. Emotion is what connects humans. Emotion is what builds trust. So when you can share, and I think the reason we coach on things is to remove shame around them a lot of the time. So I think we've all felt shame. And if you can say that differently, that's good. Just explain how you felt. What did you go through? What was the reality? But most importantly, I would rather you leave out details, but share in detail how you felt and what was going through your mind. Does this make sense? Now, here's the thing too I want to say. It doesn't have to be this long. None of this has to be as long. This post I'm showing you guys, kind of unfortunately, is a longer example. This is a long post. But you could just say like, look, I've been exactly in this position. May 2016, I booked 17 free sessions in 1 week. I was looking at my calendar thinking this was totally going to be my 5-figure month. And when it wasn't, I felt like a total failure. I thought I must suck at this. Do you guys see how that would be a little bit shorter? This is something I've gone through a lot, so I felt really called to like write a lot. But I just want to give you permission to keep it short, make it long, whatever. I think it's good to have both. Long posts, short posts, all of that. Good. I'm so glad. Workshops are fun too. I get a second to like breathe. Okay. So, step 4. This can be where a lot of people get hung up. Show them the gap. Okay? So, you want to show them what you teach and how that's going to solve this problem for them or how this is going to improve things for them. So, remember what we're doing today is selling. Now, Not every post you write needs to have a pitch at the end. I think I'm going to touch on that at the very end. I'm going to give you guys some helpful things to remember. But for today's sake, let's practice pitching, right? So this post is targeted to people that need your help, that want to hire you. So we need to show them the gap. We need to show them, we said that. We just need to show them, here's what I said. Show them the solution, which is your work. Show them another way. Here's something really good to do too. Explain why what they're doing doesn't work. Now, your headline doesn't need to say this. In fact, a lot of headlines that say things, I've said this a couple times already, why free sessions don't work. It's giving away the answer. That's telling them, okay, this post is going to tell me free calls don't work. Cool. I don't even need to read it. Because humans are smart, right? So you don't need to make the post about that, but it's cool to say, here's why this happened to you. It's normal. Logic sells, right? If somebody reads your post and they still don't understand why they're where they're at, they probably aren't going to buy because it logically doesn't make sense. They're still confused. You know what I mean? Show them another way. You could also keep going with your story and you could say, here's what changed for me. Here's what finally clicked. Here's what I had to realize. So that's a really easy way to do that too. You could also say, here's what I learned. I learned free calls don't work because blah, blah, blah. And here's what I started doing instead. So let's just pretend, and this is not what I pitch, but let's just pretend I think the way of marketing is webinars, right? So I could say like, I had to realize free calls don't work. And the way to get leads and sales now is webinars. And explain why. I would not say that, but do you guys get what I mean? So here's my example. Can you guys read this at all? So you guys can see the way I wrote it. Looking back, right, now that I have this result, it wasn't my sales at all, right? It's that this is a sucky strategy, right? And I just explained to him why. I explained who you're attracting when you do free calls. And I said, so here's what I did in this post. I explained more of why the strategy doesn't work. But you could also share another way and make that the longer part. You know what I mean? Or you can make this section really, really short and go, look, this is how I would say it because of where I'm at. You do not need these results to be an authority. But I would say, look, now that my coaching program is always full, I'm making multiple six figures every year, I can tell you free sessions are not the way to go. You can already tell they don't work. What you need to do is build a community. And that could be all I say for this section. Again, I was feeling on fire with writing. I thought this was a good example because it shows you each section, how to really go into detail. But yeah, makes sense. So think about how you want to tie that together. I'm going to go back to the last slide for a second for you guys. I'll switch back and forth. If you guys have a question here, let me know. Okay, if you're going to say something like crash diet, supplement companies, group classes don't work, what you really need is, so I would separate this into two sentences, and this is going to sound silly. I would just, at least in one sentence, say why they don't work. Is it because they don't have accountability? Is it because, you know, a lot of people believe it's because the health industry is created so people keep buying? You know what I mean? Give them a little logic, because with your industry, it's really hard for people to believe that, even though I think we kind of all do in a way, like subconsciously, deep down. but give them a little bit of reasoning and then say what you really need is, and then just be honest. If you believe it's a fitness coach, right? Especially the people you're talking to, I'm assuming you are a fitness coach, they need one, right? So you're going to say, and here's what I would word it as. If you're reading this post because you've done the 12 crash diets, the 4 supplement, whatever, right? Like throw some funny numbers in because that's relatable. You probably need a fitness coach, right? And here's why. And then that's going to go into your pitch. Or you can say like you would even say the reason my clients hire me is because this is what I provide. This is the difference of working with a fitness coach versus working with, buying the whatever program. You know what I mean? So for me, I introduce kind of a strategy I have. Community is nothing I made up. I call community cash containers. It's just fun. I made it up recently. You don't need fancy words. But I'm just introducing a strategy. I believe in community. Not every marketer does. Not every business coach does. A lot of them do. I believe in community, and I'm going to teach them about that. So I use that to lead in. So there's no shame in saying, look, you need a coach. Because that's true. Not everyone needs a coach all the time for every area, but everybody at certain points in their life needs a certain type of support, right? And who you're writing to needs you. So speaking of, what we're going to go into is the pitch. So this is our last part of the post, okay? Here's some things you can do. You can do all of these. You can do one of these. You can do 2 of these. You're probably going to link something or tell them to message you or something like that, right? So you can introduce the offer. So you could just say like, look, this is why my clients hire me. And if you're interested in getting support like this too, and you're tired of trying all these diets, message me, right? Or whatever. You can, number 2, show them the results of your offer. So you can say, look, proof is in the pudding, right? Whatever. Here's the results my clients have gotten. Taylor's done this, Sandra's done this, Melanie's done this, right? And put that in there. You can just explain what's covered, I created this course and in it, I'm teaching you, boom, 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 right? Or just explain who it's for. My one-on-one coaching was designed for you. It was designed for women who struggle with blah, 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 who desire blah, blah, blah. Book your call here or whatever. So it can just be one of these. It doesn't have to be super long. It can be a couple of them. It could be all of them. Sometimes my pitches are super long. It's basically like writing a sales page as a post. Sometimes they're super short. Okay. Looking back just 2 years ago, I was a struggling beauty freelancer. Why did I struggle for so long? I learned the skill, but didn't leave the business or model that would get me from 0 to 6 figures until now. I like that. And I'm assuming that's what you teach. So then you can say, that's what I teach my clients. Look what they've done. Or when I uncovered this for myself, here's what happened for me. Do you know what I mean? That's awesome. Here's what mine looks like. So remember, I ended this part of the post saying, it's all in your community, or as I like to call, cash containers. When you have this in your business, everything changes. You no longer have to do free sessions. You no longer have to stress about people not getting what it is that you do. You're making 10K to 20K cash, okay? And then I say, this is just a small piece of what I'm covering in my 2-day experience. I'm also covering, and I wrote this probably longer than you even want to, but bullet pointed what I was covering. Now, normally when you're selling something, you're going to write multiple posts. So what's cool is you can switch out the pitch. You can have, okay, this time I'm going to talk about the content in the program. This time I'm going to talk about the results people have gotten. This time I'm going to talk about my results. So just remember that. There's no way to do it wrong because you get to switch it up. Okay? Yay! Okay, I'll give you guys a minute or two. If you guys are thinking of questions, ask. If you guys think you have a pretty good post going on, let me know. I'd love to hear. You can always tag me in your post if you'd like, especially if you post on Facebook. Thank you. So as you guys wrap up, there you have it. I just want to tell you a couple of things. I basically already mentioned these, but I really want to tell you, of course, don't use my post as your exact template. If your post looks just like mine, come on, it's copying. But sometimes we do that on accident. We don't realize that's usually the case. But I will say, very generous. Yeah, genius fits too. Thanks. I'll take both. Just write your own words. Let it flow. Discover your own formats. Discover your own way of saying it. You know, that's what I've done. And I've had plenty of coaches inspire me as well, where it's like, I like how she words that. I'm going to kind of play with that in my own content. Or like how I say, let me guess a lot. I use it a lot on my sales pages. I think I picked that up from one of my very first coaches, right? But some other stuff I've come up with is just from me. So play with it and write, and kind of repeating again, there's no right way to write a post. There really isn't. This template, guys, it's proven. It works for me. It works for clients. But if you only wrote posts in this exact format, it would get old pretty quick for you and for your readers. So just understand that it's the elements. It's that really great headline and topic. It's being able to show them you know where they're at. It's being able to show them that you've been where they're at. It's being able to fill a gap. It's being able to just pitch and sell shamelessly. That is what you want in your post. Put it in any order. Mix it up, right? You know, I think it's awesome too. Sometimes just lead in right with your story. We didn't really practice that today, but that's a great way too. So I just want you to realize it's not like, this is the proven formula. You should write all your posts this way, right? No. Okay. And of course, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're trying to make it perfect, if you're overthinking, I know some of you kind of went through that today, just write. Okay. So Sarah, quick question. When you're referring to posts, good question, are you mainly referring to Facebook or Instagram or your own website? So I think these posts are best for Facebook, Instagram, and email. You could totally turn this into a blog or whatever. And if you're going to use it on Instagram, it's probably going to need to be shortened a little. Yeah, how would you post this on Instagram? You got to shorten it. But you can use these elements. If you want to be selling on Instagram, you've got to take these elements and put them on Instagram, but it's going to be a little bit different. This exact post, you would put on Facebook and email. You could literally exactly what you wrote today. And you can see the post I was showing you was from Facebook. In stories though, well, you don't post, you don't write a post for stories. I guess you could, but I just mean like an Instagram post, right? So, but I'll be honest, I use stories. Follow me, the Taylor Manning. And sometimes I do pitch on there. I tend to use stories to show my life, build connection, but if I'm selling something, I am not ashamed to get on there and literally speak some of this stuff. Okay. I don't actually write it out, but it comes from my head. So any other questions, definitely ask. I want to share something with you. So, I really hope that you love this. It seems like most of you did, and you got some really great stuff from it. There are some other gaps that need to be filled, okay? So here's what I'm going to say. This is not for all of you. This is not a pressure thing. If you're not interested, I'm going to tell you about my course. For those of you that think you need to do like a seamless transition into selling, you don't. But I am going to tell you about my course because there are some gaps you might be interested in filling right now in your business. Now, these posts are awesome. Run with them. Post them in your group, your page. Shorten them up for Instagram. Email them to your list. But if you don't have an audience to post to, okay, if you feel like, yeah, I could post on Facebook, but nobody follows me there, like it's going to be my mom, my dad, right? Or you have people following you, but they aren't buying at all, or your sales process sucks, right? You can't do a sales call to save your life, whatever, right? Or here's another thing. There's other content that needs to be happening, right? To grow your community, to grow your list, and to nurture them as well. If all you do is post sales content, what's going to happen? I mean, it's a little spammy. So there's that. You also need programs to sell. So if you're struggling with your pricing, if you really want to raise your rates, but you're not sure if you can yet or how, or your old rate's not selling already, so how's a higher rate going to sell, right? You need to figure that out. Or if your programs don't feel aligned, you're not sure what to include in them, or all that type of stuff. Or if your confidence isn't completely there yet, right? One thing we cover in my course is, Beck's not interested. No, thank you, Beck. I'm so glad you were here. So, but if your confidence isn't there, if you need to realize why you're an amazing coach for your soulmate clients, why you're the number one option, right? I really would love for you to hang out and hear this. If this is not your issue, if you're like, I've got a community, I post content all the time, I show my life, I open up, I love my programs, my confidence is sky high, I feel really great with my price points, my sales process is really good, if I can get them on the phone, I can sell them, then you don't need to listen to this. You probably really just needed these posts. Now, if you feel like you need a mentor or whatever, hey, reach out. But if this is the gap you're looking to fill, I want to tell you about my course, okay? Which is perfect for you guys that are at 3 figures, 4 figures a month, and you really want to get to 10K, okay? So I'll tell you about a couple of my clients. I'll tell you about the offer. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. That's totally fine. Let me put the link in here because I love just like letting you guys go check it out. So this is one of my previous clients, Christy, who started off working with me in this course. So before she had completed this course, signed up for this course, I should say, she had only signed 2 business coaching clients, right? And she had a fitness business before, and she wanted to go into business coaching, but she felt like she couldn't because she was only making a couple $1,000s a month, like $2,000, I believe, in that previous business. So she's like, is that good enough, right? And she was also really terrified at the same time to leave behind that business and that following, because she had quite a following. She had been working on that business for over a year, and that's scary, right? So here's what happened in the course. These are exact screenshots from the course. So 1 week in her launch in this program, she made $12,000 sales and $9,500 cash. And one thing Christy did that I love, and a lot of my clients end up doing, is she stopped doing the sales calls. She stopped spending hours on the phone, and she just started selling with her content, which is what I love to do. And she loved it, right? So here is about 2 weeks later, if you look at the dates. 2 weeks later, she said she had the best day of her life. I love this post so much. So she had a $3,500 cash sale for her mastermind. And then she had her first 5-figure client as well, which was $11,500, and had her first 15K day, which made that her first 20K month, which was so cool. And this was 20K in sales, but that month actually did become a 20K cash month, which was so freaking cool. So that's that. Obviously, some of you may even know Christy. She is definitely a leader of the industry. If you don't know her, follow her, Christy Bailey. I always like to give my clients shout outs like that because you could totally learn from them too. They're amazing. So January 2018, she had a 60K cash month, and she literally crossed the 6-figure mark in her business in under 5 months, which is so cool. And she's keeping up that level of success as well. So it's not like this big boom and then nothing, which sometimes happens, right? Because a big part of this course is how do you do this consistently, okay? This is Susie. Some of you might know Susie as well because she's also so amazing. When she joined the course, she had been making 5K months, but she was plateaued there. And she was actually really hesitant to set the 10K goal. So her goal for the course was 7K, okay? What's super cool about Susie was she was already traveling the world full time, but she kind of felt like icky about it because she was working the whole time, had no boundaries, right? And then here's what happened, okay? Signed up to the program with a goal of 7,000. Last week, she updated us, last week as of this date, Last week, she updated the group and told us she had to hit 11,000, which is so good. And then 25K month, the 25th of November. Okay. And she said, I'm just in flow and everything feels so easy. I signed another 2 clients during the last 24 hours to get started in January, which was awesome because I don't know if any of you are here, but Susie came into the program totally undercharging. So she was fully booked. She had clients, but she was only making that 5K because she wasn't charging enough. And she was like, I need to make more money. I need to increase my income, but I kind of screwed myself because I don't have any more time. So I worked with her in this program on selling her program out in advance, which was cool because then she gets to January and she still has payments coming in from these clients and doesn't have to stress about starting from zero. So that was that. Shannon DePalma as well. She came into this program making like $2,000 or $3,000 a month and charging $3,000 for her coaching. And since then, she signed her first $12,000 client. She's had an $8,000 day, and she's had multiple, so a couple, 5-figure months. And I believe on her Facebook, I saw that she had a multiple 5-figure month. So she's totally killing it. And in this course too, because this is like her longer term results, which was great. To give you an idea, she actually updated us. Oh, I wish I had the screenshot in here. I believe the screenshot's on the sales page. She actually updated us that not even 3 weeks into the program, she had already 5 times her investment in the program. Okay, so very good. That's what you want. You want a program, you're going to get ROI, right? Okay, so I think we all know this, but all of these women had the same fears as you, right? And Shannon, like, is such a great example of this because she literally was one of the people that's like, am I even good enough to charge 10K? I don't have this crazy cool story. I don't have all these crazy cool results. I'm writing content every single day and it's not working. I'm not standing out. I really want to help people, but am I good enough, right? And you guys saw the results she's getting now. And if you go stalk her, which you'll want to stalk all these women. It's so good. It's so good. So the course is called Unleash Your 6-Figure Badass, okay? And what we're covering is the key to going from 4-figure months to a 6-figure year. That's the goal for this program, is to get women who are very close to 4-figure months or at 4-figure months to their 6-figure year, okay? So for those of you that struggle with like staying motivated, you feel like your energy is really up and down. For those of you that are setting really big goals but not coming close at all, you need this module, okay? Module 2 is about the 6-figure badass mindset. And I actually show you something that is simple, okay? Not gonna lie, it's very simple. Everything in here is. But people's minds are always blown. If you ask the women that go through this course, they'll tell you the content in here is unlike any other course you could possibly join. And I've made up this process to bust your blocks that are keeping you from your income goal. And it's 3 steps. It's super simple. You can do it today. And I see it work like a charm, like every single time. So that's in there. How to manage your energy so you always create amazing content. So if you feel like you keep freaking out before you even get close to the end of the month or whatever, or you're sabotaging, or you're getting so in your head about raising your prices or that sort of thing, you're really going to want module 2. Module 3. The 2 things you must know to sell out your coaching offer, okay? I'm going to teach you how to be so crystal clear on who you work with so you can speak to them. And I'm going to show you why what you do is different than anybody else so that you can build confidence in what you do and stand out. So if you feel like you're changing your ideal client all the time, if you feel like you're not speaking to anyone specific, if you feel like you're speaking to the whole world, you got to change that, okay? So quickly, I'll answer this question from Jay. I love how most of you did not put your real name. Is this only for coaches? It's mostly for coaches, or I have a testimonial I'll show you guys from somebody that is a web designer and branding expert. So she has a story. She's passionate. She's on a mission. She truly is passionate about helping women entrepreneurs. She's so passionate about ambitious women. So it works for her, right? Because she doesn't just want to talk about techie website stuff. She wants to do branding and web design, but she wants to talk about what she's passionate about, and she wants to share her story and be a leader, so it works for her. If you are a totally offline business, right? If you're a store, if you sell products, not for you. If you're a network marketer, not really for you, because you're not creating packages or offers or whatever, right? If you are a service provider that doesn't really feel called to share your story, not for you either. But if you're like, I have a story, I'm passionate, like I'm not a coach, but I would love to be a leader like a coach, it's for you, okay? If you want to be specific about what you do, I could answer it for you more specifically, but that's that. Module 4, secret to creating content that actually sells. I'll be honest, you guys got a lot of that today. There's going to be some more bonus for you guys in there, but this is just like a little snippet of what our content's like, right? So how to stand out. I really believe these Facebook groups that we feel like are so saturated and don't work, you can actually get tons of leads from them. How to build connection with your people so they feel confident buying from you. How to format your pitch so people are called to reach out, even if you don't have a timer, right? Module 4, Module 5, we're gonna talk about sales. Ditch your sales script, ditch sales calls if you want, right? Some people love them, some people hate them. How to get no more objections, how to not be ghosted, my follow-up approach. Who here worries about like, should I follow up? Am I gonna seem desperate? Is it too soon? Is it too late, right? Module 6, the missing piece in most inconsistent businesses. So some of you have gone through this. If you've had a big month and then you can't get back there, or you've seen people do that, I hate that. It's so important as a business owner to have consistent income. I'm passionate about this. It's one of my biggest like values to teach, because I grew up with a single dad who was an entrepreneur. So our only income, our only way to live was if his business did well and made money. So if my dad wasn't making consistent income, my life would have looked a lot different. So thankful for him doing that. And that's why I really have made it a priority for me to have consistent income. Again, in a couple of months, it'll be 2 years since I've had less than a $20,000 cash month, right? So I'm going to teach you that. Okay, module 7. Ditch the shoulds, create your own rules. So if you feel like you are following everyone and following everything they say to do, and you're stressed about it, and you've got checklists and to-do lists, and it's not how you run your business, going to help you with that. If you're working way too much, this module is going to help you with that as well, okay? And then module 8 is keeping people hooked on you as a leader and a mentor, how to hook in your community. So you are the person when they wake up and they grab their phone, which they shouldn't be doing, but they are, they look up your name. And they see if you did a live stream. They see if you've done a post, right? And they also buy from you over and over. I've had many clients that have been working with me in some way. It's very common for over a year, right? So we'll do one-on-one, they'll do my course, they'll do my group, they'll come to an event. Like, it's awesome. So some more testimonials. Remember the links in the chat too if you want to just check out the sales page. But this is Fabi. Some of you might know her. She is the one that is the web designer, brand expert, right? So she's signing 10K clients in this, which was awesome. So Anna, I wanted to put her in here because she has a little different of a story. She is one of the few people that have joined this program at zero. This is not for you, excuse me. If you're at $0 per month and you don't think you're good at anything, you're not passionate, you don't know what you want to do. But Anna knew she wanted to coach on this thing and who her audience was. And she was a little wishy-washy on like, she needed help, but she knew, right? It wasn't like, I'm not good at anything. I don't know what I want to do at all. So if you're really clear, if you've done other programs and you're stuck or whatever, this will be good for you. But if you're just getting started, you don't even really know what you do, I would suggest hiring a private coach, and that wouldn't be me, but I could totally suggest them to you. So Shannon, 12K client, Mackie, $2.4 thousand in 2 days. And Kiki as well, right? I'll be honest. I'll put the sales page link in again, but it was in the chat. There it is. Do you see it? So no, you don't see it? Oh, thank you. I sent it to only panelists, which we don't have panelists today. Okay. I'll be honest, guys. Kiki was somebody who felt like she kind of fell behind in the course. She didn't get results. Like some people, most people, honestly, most come in here and get huge results quickly, right away, 2 weeks, right? I have so many results. You'll get an email or two about that, that say, like, here's what people have done in 2 weeks, right? That didn't happen for her. She felt stuck. She felt behind. But what I love about her testimonial, why I'm being so honest with it, is she stuck to it and she was committed. And then in 8 days, right, she signed 2 clients and made 10K. So I want to share that with you honestly because it was freaking awesome. And these are the posts from the group. So you're also around women that are killing it, that are sharing what's going on, that are uplifting, that get you, which is awesome too. And a lot of these women have become friends, best friends even. So what's included, again, I've designed this. My goal is that in these 8 weeks, you'll have at least your first 10K month. Yes, if you're making $1,000 a month, you can hit that goal. Okay, I've had people do it. Many women in this program have even hit 20K in 8 weeks or less. But I designed this thinking if somebody's at low 4 figures and wants to hit their first 10K month in actually 6 weeks was the first time I did it, what do they need? And it's worked. So you'll also get 8 video modules. There's bonus trainings as well that have been done. And there's also some live trainings that are going to be happening as well that are kind of just a bonus right now. So you'll get to enjoy those. To be honest, it's actually 4 because we did one yesterday. Okay, so you'll get a Facebook group to mastermind in. My team is in the group every single day and they check the questions. And if it's something I've answered before, because I've had over 70 women go through this course. And so if it's something that's been asked before, my team will give you the answer very clearly. If it's something that's more unique to you or hasn't been answered before, they'll ping me to answer you. So I'm not in the group nonstop. I couldn't do that for that many women. But if you ask a question that hasn't been answered before, you will get an answer, okay? As long as it's related to what we're doing and it's a question. Is it possible to do this course without having Facebook? Are you not allowed to have Facebook because of your job? I hear that from a lot of people. Yeah, because you can use this on Instagram and you can use this on an email list. But Facebook is really good for growing your email list, to be honest. So I would have to hear more. So lifetime access to the course. Obviously, if anything ever changes, you'll get the old content and the new content. That's very important, right? So here's how it works. The course is open until Saturday. You'll have this replay until Saturday. You'll be able to join us until Saturday. And there's 2 options for you, just so you know. You can see this on the sales page. You can do monthly payments, which is new, something we're trying out. So you can get started for $547, and that will be billed to you every 30 days. So it'll be payment of $547 every 30 days for 4 months. Okay, so $547 times 4. Or you could just pay in full and get it over with for $19.97. So everybody has their own preference. That's what that looks like. And yeah, so I would love to have you. I will be emailing you and reminding you about it. If you're not interested, just unsubscribe. But I would hang out because I send out really good stuff. So closes Saturday. That's the payment plan. That's the link. Links in the chat as well. If you are watching the replay, this will be on a pretty page. It'll have the link at the bottom. And this is what it's all about. Sign your 10K clients. Can you guys imagine 10K in full? You can do that. Every one of you on here can do that. Actually enjoy your life, right? Create the 5-figure months over and over. Have a simplified system. This is not Facebook ads, funnels, any of that. I believe, just even if you're not interested, I believe in getting to at least 10K, if it was my business, 20K, doing posts, live streams, emails I don't think you need webinars. I don't think you need Facebook ads. I don't think you need any of that before. In fact, I don't think it works before. Okay? So that's what I'm teaching you here. Simplified. So, yeah. Is the course set times each day or at your own pace? At your own pace. You'll get access to everything. Now, here's what's cool is I'm re-recording some of the modules just to make them better. And so that's why you get those live videos. So you'll get all the old modules already, which they're not that old. And that's how these people have gotten these results. But I'm re-recording them and I'm doing them live. So the only thing that is set date and set time is totally optional, just for fun, me re-recording. Because why not do it live and hang out with you guys? But other than that, it's all at your own pace. You get everything. You have it forever. Jennifer, I have not quite 700 followers on Instagram. That's really good. Christy, by the way, had 300 followers for her business when she got these results. And I've been running Facebook ads, a free challenge with another business coach. I kind of need cash flow coming in the next 30 days. What would you say it would be worth it to switch? Switch to what? Switch to doing this course or switch to doing... Tell me what you mean, Jennifer. And if anyone else has questions. I just think that the issue is when people do Facebook ads too soon in their business, I'll get on video, they don't have the cash flow, so it's stressful, right? I'm a very strategic person, but I also believe in manifesting, law of attraction, woo-woo things as well, and energetic. And I believe if you're super stressed and you're doing things that are really stressful and scary, it actually slows down your results. You need to get uncomfortable. You need to do that sort of thing. But if you're trying to make money while you're really, really stressed about it and you're just pumping more out, that can be hard, right? For something that, but here's the other side of it. And here's why I wouldn't really say that about a coach, but about Facebook ads is if you can't, that's what I teach my clients. If you can't go into a spammy Facebook group, okay, and get 100 people signed up for your webinar for free, you shouldn't be running Facebook ads because your messaging isn't going to work, right? That's just what I believe. That's what I've done in my business. I run Facebook ads now every month, but I didn't do that until I was making 20K months. And I don't have my clients do that until then. Because if your messaging is not good enough to do that, to make that much income, it's probably not even good enough for Facebook ads. I don't know if your Facebook ads are converting. I've seen a couple people do it earlier than that, but yeah. I think you would love the course. Here's what else I'll say, guys. I really believe, trust your gut. I think if you are scared to join, it's normally a sign that you want to join. This is just my opinion. Take it on as your own if you'd like. But this is how I make my decisions, really, and what I found. If I feel scared, so if I feel scared, it means I want to do it. And I truly believe our desires are divine, and there's a reason. If I feel like, oh, maybe I should do that, like she's saying things I haven't thought about before, that probably means it's a should. But if I feel like, God, I really resonate with her, I really want to do it, right? Then I'll do it. You just got to feel like a strong want and exciting, but scary. Did you say that you would get to a 20K month with only posts, live streams, and emails without running any ads? That's what I did personally, and that's what I do with my clients. And before I know I shared with you guys I was a freelancer, right? For about 6 months between freelancing and coaching, I did a Facebook ad agency. And the clients that get the results are the clients that are making money before they do Facebook ads. It's just about your messaging for sure. So yes, that's what I did. And I've spent, probably maybe like $20,000 in ads at this point. But I didn't start until after I was making 20K months for like 6 months. Honestly, this sounds amazing, but it's so scary because I would have to put it on a credit card to be able to do it because I'm not making enough. I have joined other coaching things and not gotten the results I needed. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to trust yourself. It could be a no right now. If you have other support, unless it's just really sucky content, then you have what you need. But you know, like, is this just like a, oh, maybe I should, this isn't working? Have you done every other thing that your other coaches have told you to do? Because if you're not doing, I'm just speaking to everybody. I'm not like, did you do the work? But if you didn't do the work, that can be a reason too, you know? Yeah. Yep, all organic reach. It's sucky content. I never like to assume that, but it happens. I've heard it, you know? This is good content, just saying. But I am really sorry because it sucks. It adds a lot of stress. I didn't have sucky content, but I did invest $10,000 before signing my first client, which was really hard. That was in 2 coaches. But sometimes it does take a little time too. And for me, I had a lot of inner stuff keeping me where I was at, you know? And I knew that. That's why I hired the second coach. When does the course begin? You will, as soon as you join, you get instant access to everything. So it's already all there. There are live streams in June that I'm going to be doing that are just extra. But other than that, you get to start today and do it at your own pace, all the modules. Okay. You guys are so fun. Let me put in some links for you guys. That's my Facebook group. That's my Instagram. That's really amazing. How many followers did you accrue from organic content to where you were making 60K in a month? This is what a lot of people get wrong. I had maybe like 2,000 people on my list and like 2,500 in my group. But that was before I started running ads. So my first 20K month, maybe like 1,500 in my group and then maybe like 1,000 on my list. Christy, the client I'm showing you, she's doing, 20 to 50 consistently, and she has just over 1,000 followers. It's not about the numbers. It's about, is your content potent? Is it working? Do you have a story? Everyone has a story, but are you using it right? You know? Like still now, it's my following's not like crazy. You'll see. Go to my group. Go to my Instagram. Although this Facebook group is new. I just closed down my old group. But very interesting. Okay, awesome, guys. Thank you for your questions. I hope to see you in the course if it's a good fit for you. If not, I would love for you to find me on Instagram. Find me at my Facebook group, fully free with Taylor Manning. You'll love it. I had a lot of fun with you guys. You guys are one of my favorite groups. Don't tell anyone. Awesome. Bye, everyone.